Racism wasn't invented in America, and it is so weird to me that I have to say that. Over on my Blue Sky, I had written something about how America's always been racist, but basically, for the past few decades, racist racists were using their indoor racist voice, flying their Dixie flags. They didn't like it and they skirted around it, and we were always just so polite about, like, that's racist Grandpa Dave, but he was from a different time. But to be clear, when the first American white dude set foot on these shores and claimed it his, ignoring the indigenous people who had thriving cultures here already, they brought the Bible and racism and really odd fashion choices with them. It is not a new concept. It is a centuries old, probably almost as old as the world's idea. My group is better than your group, but when there's something distinct about us that makes it easier for me to tell, like gang members wear colors because you can't necessarily tell. But if I'm a different skin tone than you, if I eat my eggs a different way than you, it's much easier to tell. It's much easier to identify. So we know who we don't like. What America did with their racism is they made it more like getting a hug, and when somebody hugs you, like, there's so much more of you to hug. They didn't call you fat. They're just implying you are. And that's worse. It's kind of the mental anguish. That is what America did with racism. They baked it in. And especially in the past few decades, when it became uncool to be racist, it went underground. But it never went away. We just wanted to pretend it went away because, it was a problem. Okay. It was the solution to build America. Then it was seen as problematic. Then there was this whole war thing. And then we had to seem to do something about it because it was getting awkward with what all the other countries judging us for it. So we made strides, but we always just left a little bit of the door open so it could keep slipping through. We wouldn't want to slam the door shut on racism. We definitely, as in a country, wouldn't want to declare women equal to men, all races equal to each other, equity and inclusion for all. This country was founded by religious nutbag 1%er white men, and it's still ruled and owned by them. In the history of America, that one thing has stayed true. They didn't have enough control where they were, so they moved here, wiped out a population, wrote the narrative that they saved that population, and then pretended like they had always just been here. This was theirs, and they were just protecting it. Worked really hard to write that into the history book. The sheer number of people who didn't even know any different until TikTok. Why don't we like Christopher Columbus? He's a great guy. He is not. This idea that, like, racism is new and racism started here. There's probably a cave painting about it.